Hello, welcome to the Raz Report. I'm Paul Raskowski.
And I'm Tom Panic.
Welcome. Today we are going to be talking about Judge Kavanaugh.
You've heard of him.
Yes. He was nominated for the Supreme Court by President Trump.
Yes.
And so what happened?
He's had like 300 cases. He has a lot of experience as a judge. Unlike the last nominee, was never a judge. Everyone could look over. That's the way it's supposed to work. They can look over the history of the rulings he's made, and that's generally how it works. So you have someone, if they've had experience as a judge, you look at their rulings. Did they do the right things? Did they interpret the Constitution to do their rulings in an unbiased way? And that's how you do it.
Yeah,
You choose
he had 300 opinions. You know, he was a circuit judge for 12 years, and he was respected throughout, the courts. And he wrote 300 opinions. 300 opinions, not just on his judgments, but on other people's judgments. And they were all respected. So if anybody ever wanted to know who this judge was about, they could read his opinions. So they had 32 days of hearings, and the Democrats had, I believe there were 90 protests, 90 interruptions. Right from the beginning, the Democrats were yelling and screaming. This was in the hearing part.
How does that happen?
They just come in and they start screaming.
But I don't understand. How do they let that happen?
Well, you are allowed to have, I believe,
members of the public?
Public is allowed to come in there, and then they just start screaming. Now, when they start screaming, they get taken out, of course. But this happened over and over and over and over again. Even by the Congress, the Democratic Congress that were on the judicial board, they were, right from the beginning, they started, they wanted to stop the whole proceedings. It was really insane. So all this happened for 32 days. And then right at the end, all of a sudden these allegations come out. Dianne Feinstein let him out.
Maybe she just found him.
No, she had him for 45 days. 45 days prior to this.
Why would she sit on them?
Well, I wonder. Of course.
So that's like not following the rules and protocol.
No, the Democrats don't really care about the rules. It was all political, and
whoever's the biggest bully should win.
Yeah. It was absurd, and I hope the American people saw this. He was accused of sexually assaulting a 15-year-old when he was 17. Now he's 53 now, so it was 36 years ago. This woman, Ford, what was her, Blasey Ford?
I thought he was younger than her.
No, he was 17 and she was 15. That was the other woman. There were another allegation where they actually accused him of gang rape. It just got crazier and crazier. But this one, she didn't know where it took place, when it took place. She named 4 people. Well, first she named...
Which one, Ford?
Ford.
Yeah, she was 15, and they asked her, well, how did you get to this party? And she had no answer.
She didn't even know how she got there or how she left the party. And the people that she said were witnesses said it didn't happen. So there was no cooperation at all, even before the hearings, but Congress agreed to hear it. And the media went berserk. The media, actually, there were more allegations. There was another one that the...
unlimited allegations, I believe, are available.
Well, yeah, there were so many silly. But there was one that the New Yorker mentioned, and they interviewed 12 people, and nobody could cooperate.
And they really wanted somebody to cooperate.
But they ran the story anyways.
Well, that was good of them.
And then NBC, was it NBC? NBC, there was another woman that said that she went to these parties. Now, she was 3 years older than Brett Kavanaugh. Oh. And so she went back to, generally when you graduate high school, you don't go back to the parties. But she did, apparently. She was 3 years, and it was she claimed that there was gang raping taking place, where this gang would drug the women, the girls, and then rape them. And then she went back 10 times. So she kept going back.
Suspicious.
Yeah. until she got raped, apparently. So eventually she got raped. I don't know if she got raped before and then she went back, or if it was...
Yeah, I would throw that one out.
Yeah, and so it was completely... And then but CBS or NBC actually interviewed her. Insane. And when they interview her, she kind of backs up and says, do you know it was Kavanaugh? Well, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he was by the punch bowl. You know, I mean, anyways, the point is that
But he gets a lot of people. A lot of people on Facebook, they talk to me, oh, you know, that's a really bad, serious allegation, and so therefore it's true.
serious, yeah. But what about Kavanaugh? What about the presumption of innocence?
It's a serious allegation, so therefore it's true.
I'm sorry, America, the Democrats, you've lost it. You've lost it. And if this
well, not all Democrats.
No, well, you're right. But if you are a Democrat right now and you are not angry at your party, then something is wrong with your morals. That's just...
Maybe they're just confused.
Okay, so you're brainwashed.
Well,
So-
I mean, the majority of the media
Yeah,
is slanted, so it's...
that's true.
If
So if you're
just
watching...
comfortable, it's easy to just be misled and
Yeah, but
go with it.
so we're here to stop that. We're here to give you the truth and speak from our heart and reasonable, you know. We have to stop that. We have to start... Look, I don't think all Democrats are brainwashed. I think Democrats are just changed. I mean, the party has gone completely, radically to the left. I mean, today they were like showing stuff in Portland where they're like, you know, pounding on these cars, you know, just because they're cars. And this white guy is yelling at this other white guy saying, "Whitey, Whitey." What? I mean, now they made it about race, and they made it about race with Kavanaugh. It's always this whole attack on anybody that's white. Apparently,
Wasn't Hillary white?
Yeah, Bernie. It doesn't.
Didn't count it.
If you're left, if you're a Democrat and you're white, then you got to pass. But if you're
well, plus the media doesn't play on it.
Yeah.
They don't point out that
Yeah.
it's obvious, and yet if it's not talked about,
It's
you kind of forget about
It's
it.
insane. I think obviously the idea is that, you know, they're really going after the founding fathers. So the founding fathers were white, they had slaves, so therefore the Constitution is null and void. That's really what they're after, and because they really don't...
Sounds like you're making a case for them.
Well, I'm telling you what they're really doing.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't really care about the Constitution. That's why they didn't want Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh is a constitutionalist. He believes in interpreting the law the way it's written.
Which is the way it's supposed to be.
Yes, it is supposed to be that way.
And when we start saying that, okay, well, we'll let the judicial branch create law.
Or you're guilty.
We're done.
Or
We're
you're
screwed.
guilty until proven innocent.
Well, as long as my side's in power, that's fine with me.
I mean, Congress was actually saying you're guilty. He has a responsibility. He needs to prove that he's innocent. No, that's not how it works. I mean, can you imagine anyone can be accused of something and they can ruin their life? I mean, his life was ruined. There were death threats. He had to tell his daughters, you know, that he's not a killer. That's the things they were saying.
Yeah, I thought that was sad.
It was sad. Very sad. Well, it looks like we have to wrap it up here.
It's about wrap-up time.
It is wrap-up time. I'm Paul Raskowski.
I'm Tom Panic.
And this is the Raz Report. Thanks for joining.